everyone, today's recipe is going to be about how to make a cookie in a cookie. So basically that's an Oreo inside another cookie. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll just show you what it looks like so you can get a better understanding. So here's what they look like. They're just kind of like a cookie inside a cookie, which is really awesome. Moving on to the ingredients that you're going to need to make your cookie in a cookie. So this recipe is super basic and simple because we're using a lot of pre-made products already to make our cookie in a cookie. So the first thing we're going to need is our Oreos. Of course, this is going to go in the center of our cookie, and these are just the classic ones, but you can pick whatever you want. Depends on your taste. You can go with the strawberry or the chocolate or the double stuffing, whatever you want. And then the next thing we're going to need is a cookie mix. You can do yours from scratch, that's completely fine, but for the purpose of this video, I just want to make it a bit quicker. I'm going to be using this, and this is just the Betty Crocker milk chocolate chunk cookies, and these are really good. So just a box mix of cookie mix, and then going to need butter, because that's what the recipe calls for. Just some butter and an egg. So that's all you're going to need to make a cookie in a cookie. So keep watching if you're interested to find out. Firstly, get your tray and line it with baking paper, as well as preheating the oven. So now we're going to be making our chocolate chip cookie mix. So firstly, we have to get our bowl. Then you're just going to want to cut off the bag and pour the contents into the bowl. The recipe calls for 80 grams of softened butter, but I prefer to melt it completely just because I find it much easier to mix in. So I'm just going to pour this into the mixture. Next, I'm going to be taking a wooden spoon and just combining the butter and the mixture together. Now I'm going to be cracking my egg into the mixture and just mixing that in with my wooden spoon as well. And there you have your cookie dough. It's as easy as that if you use a premix. It's super simple. I prefer using a premix just because it really cuts down the amount of time it takes to make these. But of course, go ahead and make your own cookies cookie mix if that's what you prefer. Now you want to take your Oreos and just begin with your hands. I'm actually going to take my bracelets off for this, and actually my ring as well, just because things can get a little messy because you have to use your hands. And I just filmed a beauty video, so that's why I had them on. But you're just going to have to use your hands to cover the cookie. It's as simple as that. Try to use a little less than you would want, just because when you put the cookie in the oven, it's going to expand and then you'll have too much of this cookie mix and not enough Oreo. When you're done, you're just going to want to place this onto your baking paper tray. Then just continue the process until all of the mixture is gone. You're probably going to have more Oreos than mixture, so that's what you're going to have to base it on. Unless you want to make 2 packs of the cookie dough mixture, then you can probably cover a whole pack of Oreos. As you can see, my mixture covered 6 Oreos, so that's how many cookies I'm going to make. So make sure that you evenly spread them out so that when they're baking, they have enough room to expand and become bigger. So now you're just going to put this in your oven and just wait for it to cook. So there's not really a specific amount of time I would leave this in there. The recipe for the milk chocolate chunk cookies by Betty Crocker says to leave it in for 13 to 15 minutes. Or until pale golden and just set. But I've made these enough to just kind of eyeball it. That's the only way I guess you learn. Just make them enough and you'll know how long to keep them in. Just continuously check them and just make sure they don't burn. So I'm just going to cut this open so you can see what it looks like inside. And so that's what it looks like. It's like a cookie inside a cookie, which is really awesome. I think these are a really cool idea and they're really unique. If you would like to give these as a gift, I recommend buying one of these cute little containers. These are usually only $1 or $2, a couple of dollars, from either Crazy Clark's, Sam's Warehouse. You can go to the Target section in their Tupperware aisle and you can find these as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this recipe on how to make this delicious treat. So I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone.